Hey guys, and in this video I'm going to review Spider-Man, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, which was probably my favorite movie as a kid. This movie was so, influential to my childhood. I guess I'll explain in the end how much this movie touched me as a child. I watched this so many times. It was by far my favorite movie when I was a kid.
And this movie, really, it holds up surprisingly well, considering it's from 2001. Like, there are some really cheesy extras, like the one where that woman comes in and says, "Look, it's Spider-Man." That was so cheesy, but it just fits perfectly for the movie. Honestly, the extras or the cheesiness was probably some of my favorite parts of the movie. It was so good. I love this movie so much.
Tobey Maguire is, uh, I wouldn't say the best Spider-Man. He's really good, but I still think that Tom Holland's better. Most people think that these days. Like for his time, Tobey Maguire was absolutely amazing as Peter Parker. He captures the nerdy feel so much better than Tom Holland, but his Spider-Man isn't really the best. I mean, I think I prefer Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Yeah, Tobey Maguire is my favorite part about him is how he captures the nerdy feel of Peter Parker. He is so nerdy in this movie, and it's perfect. It's so good. And I like that Peter has organic web shooters. I like the fact that he has organic web shooters much more than the fact that he has, web shooters that he makes himself because he's just a poor high schooler. How the hell can he freaking afford to make web shooters? It doesn't make sense. So, and also, if he's bitten by a radioactive spider and gets every single power that a spider can, why can't he shoot webs? It's dumb for him to make web shooters. Why can't he shoot webs if he gets all the other powers that a spider can? I like the fact that he has organic web shooters better. And a lot of people also say that he didn't make enough jokes in the movie. He made a few jokes, like where he said to that guy, "Nice suit, did your husband give it to you?" And that one where he makes J. Jonah Jameson shut up and says, "Would you let mom and dad talk for a minute?" I think there were definitely jokes in the movie, but I think there could have been just a little bit more. There were only two Spider-Man jokes as far as I remember in the movie, so I think there could have been a little bit more, but it was fine. It doesn't bother me. Now this bugs me. They do not look like high school students at all. Like, I don't know what Tobey Maguire doesn't really look like a high school student either, but at least he looks like more of a high school student than these freaking dickheads. They look like adults. I don't get why they were cast in these roles. They do not look like high school students at all. And the greatest character in this trilogy by far is Norman Osborn. And Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin or Norman Osborn is some of the best casting I've ever seen. It's incredible. Like, he is what I consider to be the face of Norman Osborn. It's definitely not this guy. Now, then there's the Green Goblin suit. Now, unpopular opinion incoming. I think this is much better than the comic suit. Even, it does look like a Power Ranger, but it's just I I hate that saying. It looks like a Power Ranger. So what? I don't care. I really like this suit, and because plus it's kind of hard to translate the comic suit. I mean, look at this. It's kind of hard to translate that into movies. But the Green Goblin is so fucking cliche in this movie. It's insane. Like, firstly, there are scenes like this, and him freaking holding a bus of children and the love interest of the movie, telling Peter to choose. It's so cliche, and I hate it. I think Kirsten Dunst was amazing as Mary Jane Watson, and she worked very well for this movie, and her character was great in this movie, and the relationship she had with Peter and Spider-Man also was really good. She has this, this abusive father. Harry Osborn is played very, very well by
James Franco.
And I love the relationship between Harry Osborn and Norman Osborn. What am I talking about? There's no relationship with them, and that's what I love. They're just, it's just so awkward. Every scene with those two is so awkward, and they don't talk with each other. They're just quiet, and it's so awkward, and I love it. Wow, and Cliff Robertson as Uncle Ben is, wow, that is amazing. His speech to Peter in the car, it was, it was just so, it was so sad, and they nailed that scene. Though with great power comes great responsibility line. It didn't feel forced at all. It can feel forced sometimes, but in this movie it did not feel forced at all. It felt necessary. And his death was heartbreaking. It was so sad. It really felt great, and they nailed that, the whole Uncle Ben storyline for this movie. It was perfect. Again, with the casting, Aunt Rosemary Harris's Aunt May, she is also what I consider to be the face of Aunt May. Like, she does look like Aunt May from the comics, but when I think of Aunt May, I don't think of Aunt May from the comics. I think of Rosemary Harris as Aunt May in the Spider-Man movies. It's so great casting. And she also, yeah, she really looks like Aunt May. Like, when I think of her, of Aunt May, I think of her from this movie. It's just, this movie really changed my life a lot when I was, I was a kid. And J. Jonah Jameson, who is played by J.K. Simmons, is top 5 castings of all time. He is, I don't know how they could cast him so incredibly and so precisely. I don't, how can they make such a good casting? And honestly, J.K. Simmons, he's probably the best casting in this movie. He is phenomenal. I never want to see anyone else playing like J. Jonah Jameson. I really think J.K. Simmons is the only person who can actually do it. I can't, on the top of my head right now, think of anyone else who could play him. So that's my thoughts on Spider-Man. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see what you think about the movie. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I love this movie. It's probably one of my favorite superhero movies. Soon I'm gonna do a review on Spider-Man 2, so look forward to that.